This is the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. I am Manoj Mainkar, and in the next half hour, I'll bring to you news updates from India and around the world, awareness videos on coronavirus by Government of India, yoga on radio, and a lot more. We'll begin with the news updates.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio, the news read by Kaushik Rai. The Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has hailed the people for their dedication, discipline and service during the national lockdown that is on for the last 9 days. Prime Minister said that the world has taken notice of India's unique way of stopping the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. He said we have to ensure that the poor of the country should be taken out of the difficulties due to the COVID-19. On Sunday, the 5th of April at 9 p.m., Mr. Modi urged citizens to switch off all lights for 9 minutes and instead light candles, diyas or flashlights from their mobile phones from their homes or their balconies, but this should be done while maintaining social discipline. This would portray our resolve to fight the pandemic. Prime Minister Modi said that our national resolve will go a long way in containing the spread of the chain of the virus. With more new cases coming to light in Delhi, the number of cases has risen to 290, while 3 COVID-19 patients have died in the city. Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar also said that the number of corona-positive patients are growing earlier. The Maharashtra state officials had put the number of new cases in Mumbai at 57. According to civic officials, 40 of these new cases had already come to light through testing at private laboratories and were only confirmed by the government. The number of demarcated containment areas in the financial capital of India, meanwhile, has increased to 212. 2 more persons, both evacuated from the Tablighi Jamaat's Nizamuddin Markaz, have died due to the coronavirus, Delhi government sources have said, taking the death toll in the national capital to 4, while the number of positive cases has also risen sharply in the last 2 days, the Delhi government sources have said. India's economic growth is likely to slow down to about 4% this fiscal on the back of the current global health emergency, the Asian Development Bank said in its outlook for the financial year 2020 and 2021. Growth in India will remain subdued due to the countries suffering a sharp slowdown due to the coronavirus. Last year, it was 6.1% and then it fell to 5% as the credit crunch that originated in the non-banking financial sector severely hampered bank lending, the Asian Development Bank said. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation with the German Chancellor, Dr. Angela Merkel. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. Modi, in his conversation with the German Chancellor, discussed the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the situation in their respective countries, and the importance of international collaboration fighting the health crisis. The two leaders discussed the need to address the inadequate availability of medicines and medical equipment required during the pandemic. The leaders agreed that COVID-19 pandemic is an important turning point in modern history and offers an opportunity to forge a new vision of globalization based on shared interests of humanity. During the conversation with the Prince of Wales, Prime Minister Modi conveyed his condolences for the loss of life in the United Kingdom over the past few days and expressed satisfaction that His Royal Highness had recovered after testing positive for the virus. Prince Charles appreciated the role played by the Indian diaspora and the religious and social organizations in the United Kingdom, while thanking Prime Minister Modi for helping stranded British citizens in India. France reported 471 more deaths in hospital from the COVID-19 Thursday, bringing the country's official toll from the coronavirus epidemic to 4,503. French figures include only those who died in the hospital and not those who passed away at homes or in old age homes. The World Bank on Thursday approved $1 billion emergency financing for India to tackle the coronavirus outbreak, which has claimed 76 lives and infected 2,500 people in the country. The World Bank's first set of aid projects amounting to $1.9 billion will assist 25 countries, and new operations are moving forward in over 40 nations using the fast-track process, the bank said. The largest chunk of emergency financial assistance has gone to India, which is $1 billion in South Asia. The World Bank also approved $200 million aid for Pakistan, $100 million for Afghanistan, $7.3 million for Maldives, and $128.6 million for Sri Lanka. The World Bank said it is now working to grant up to $160 billion over the next 15 months to support the measures to tackle the pandemic, which will focus on the immediate health consequences and bolster economic recovery. The World Bank Group President David Malpass said that would help free up about $14 billion over the next year that the countries would be able to use to fight the coronavirus pandemic. He said the proposal was discussed at last week's conference call with US President Donald Trump and other G20 leaders. And with that, we end this news bulletin.
India is at a critical stage in its fight against coronavirus as fears of community transmissions rise. During its lockdown, frontline workers are still going out every day to win what one doctor described as a war India can't afford to lose. In this section, we bring to you the best of advices from doctors all over India talking about various aspects of coronavirus. Here is one such doctor talking to you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kushal Banerjee and I'm a homeopathic doctor. In view of the current pandemic of COVID-19 all over the world, there is panic and there's a lot of uncertainty regarding what can help and what measures all of us can take to protect ourselves against COVID-19. First of all, it is important to acknowledge that this is a new disease and we have no data as to how effective any prophylaxis or other protective measures are. All advice in all systems of medicine by all doctors is based on the efficacy we have seen in similar diseases or similar kinds of infections or diseases arising from similar viruses. So this is also true for any homeopathic advice that may be given. Given the symptom picture and some protective action that we have noted in similar illnesses arising from the same family of viruses, we are suggesting that 3 medicines be used. Their names are arsenic album 6, Eupatorium perfoliatum 30, and Lycopodium 30. They are to be consumed once a day each for 14 days, and this period can be extended if the number of cases continue to rise in India or wherever the patient is taking it. Please also note that just by consuming any homeopathic medicine, we don't find that. Please note that by consuming homeopathic medicines, you are not ignoring all other public health guidelines and advice. Please observe all advice relating to social distancing, relating to avoiding visiting areas that may be crowded. Please follow all advice related to repeated washing of hands in the proper manner, use of masks if you think you have symptoms, repeatedly washing hands properly, and all other advice that may be given from time to time from all health authorities. Also ensure that you are leading a very disciplined life, because by leading a disciplined life, we are able to strengthen our immunity in general. Utilize this time in forced lockdown to engage in physical exercise, following a strict sleeping pattern, and following disciplined fixed meal timings. All of these together, along with some of the homeopathic medicines that I have advised, one hopes that the transmission rates will be low, the least number of people will be affected, and we will keep our number of fatalities in this country and wherever this may be as low as possible. Thank you.
If the current COVID 19 outbreak has got you feeling stressed out and anxious, then a calming yoga flow can definitely help. We care for your well being and therefore, we bring for our listeners Yoga on Radio. Practice some easy asanas with Yogacharya Surakshit Goswami and keep yourself healthy and rejuvenated.
Dear listeners, today we will practice Ujjayi Pranayam. Ujjayi Pranayam, also known as victorious breath or ocean breath, stretches and warms the breath before it enters into the lungs. Ujjayi Pranayam is helpful in curing asthma as it increases the capacity of the lungs. It can also tract thyroid problems. This practice can do wonders for those who are obese and snore regularly. It is also helpful in removing heart blockages and thus regulates blood supply, which prevents heart disease. It is useful for people who suffer from mental fatigue and have brain-related problems.
For Ujjayi Pranayam, sit in a meditative posture with both legs folded in Sukhasana or Padmasana. Keep your back and neck in a straight line. Place your hands on your knees, close your eyes and breathe normally. Exhale fully and then inhale slowly through both nostrils. The neck muscles should be contracted to produce a low, uniformly pitched and continuous sobbing sound. A vibration in the chest and head areas may be felt. Hold your breath for a few seconds and now close the right nostril with the right thumb and exhale through your left nostril slowly. This is one round of this pranayam. Ujjayi Pranayam should be practiced 10 to 12 times or according to one's capacity.
During lockdown in India, many citizens are voluntarily participating in creating awareness and helping the less privileged. And help
Today this call belongs to your and the call
not a very eight hardly maybe up to about medical re- people and who they point then health extreme line red day 100 2 if you cost 19 China studies roughly 50,000 city government medical Jackson is that is why other particular so which I go another two are like you look about black people ten plus 2000 not all the problem let's look at is family. Basic reason you are but that happens. Only experience, but we just point right for three to raise to from school. If I'm in this isolation, I want some know, like the of reduce basic issue. We are topic in stream state virus
Namaste and greetings to all the General Overseas listeners of All India Radio. I'm Dr. Harnita Chaudhary from Pune. I'm an economist, professor, and corporate trainer by profession, but increasingly a seeker and spiritual counselor by choice. For a lot of us, the coronavirus has become synonymous with lockdown. But for me, it does not mean lockdown. In fact, for me, the coronavirus means opening up to endless possibilities and potential. It means opening up to our own hidden potential to love, to forgive, to help, to bless, to pray. It means opening up to our family's potential to bond, to care, to appreciate, to be thankful. It means opening up to our residential community's potential to reach out, to tolerate, to cooperate. It means opening up to our professional organization's potential to support, to encourage, to understand. And finally, to me, it means opening up to our nation's potential to be self-disciplined, to be grateful, to be positive. To me, the coronavirus does not mean lockdown. In fact, for me, the coronavirus means opening up to endless possibilities and potential. So, here is hoping the coronavirus lockdown opens up infinite possibilities and potential for each of you, deep in your hearts, your families, your communities, your organizations, and your nation. Take care, stay home, be happy, and spread happiness.
The world is grappling with possibly the worst public health crisis seen in more than a century. The COVID-19 pandemic has gripped nations, compelling governments to impose countrywide lockdowns to contain the spread of the deadly virus. Government of India is taking all necessary steps to ensure the well-being of its citizens. The most important factor in preventing the spread of the virus locally is to empower the citizens with the right information and taking precautions. We share with you one such advisory. Have a look.
देश के सभी नागरिकों के लिए वो सारी बातें मैं दोहरा रहा हूं और मैं कहता हूं कि आप भी याद रखिए और हर स्कूल में, कॉलेज में, सब जगह पे बताइए। देखिए क्या करना है। एक तो हमें बिना जरूरत के कहीं इकट्ठा होने से बचना होगा और दूसरा हमें बार बार जितना हो सके अपने हाथ धोते रहना चाहिए और बराबर सफाई करनी चाहिए। अपने चेहरे को, अपने नाक और अपने मुंह को बार बार छूने की हमारी जो आदत है, अब थोड़ा उस आदत को बदलना होगा। जितना हो सके इस आदत को हमें कंट्रोल करना है और धुले हुए हाथों से ही अपने मुंह को टच करना चाहिए। जानकारों का कहना यह है कि ये खांसते या छींकते समय जो छींटे निकलते हैं, सांस के साथ ऐसे छोटे 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 बिंदु निकलते दिखते भी नहीं, उसमें जो भी संपर्क में आता है उसे ये फैलता है। ऐसे में जिस भी चीज पर ये छींटे गिरते हैं उसमें ये वायरस कई दिनों तक जीवित रह सकता है। इसलिए बार बार साबुन से हाथ धोना बहुत जरूरी है। एक और आदत हमें जरूर डालनी है। अगर खांसी और छींक हमें आती है तो कोशिश यही करनी है कि दूसरों पर इसके छींटे न पड़े और जो कपड़ा या रुमाल हमने छींकने के समय इस्तेमाल किया होता है उसे भी दूसरों के संपर्क में न आने दें।
This broadcast came to you from the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.